Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just read out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come out. And Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and the Golden State Warriors, man. This, before we start on the Draymond defense stuff, this game was just such a great one to watch. Adam Silver has not been perfect at all, but this play-in tournament is a damn hit. And to see Steph Curry go off in this game like that was really incredible. Now, on the defense of Draymond Green on Kawhi Leonard, man. This is Draymond and the Warriors. Draymond definitely spearheaded this attack on Kawhi Leonard, but this was a total team effort. And listen, man, I love this guy. I think he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. He has a super high IQ. But the Warriors were able to allocate so much defensive attention to Kawhi Leonard because of how they guarded Chris Dunn. You see at the start of this game, Kristaps Porzingis is on Chris Dunn. This means that they don't respect his outside shot. So Kristaps Porzingis, for all of this game, whoever's guarding Chris Dunn, they're going to leave him and they're going to help wherever they see fit. But of course, again, this was spearheaded by the aggressiveness, the off-ball defense, the rerouting, the top locking of Draymond Green. So the first thing that you will see here that was very prevalent in this game is how far Draymond Green pushed the catch points out of Kawhi Leonard. With 17 seconds left, Derrick Jones Jr. is about to get the ball, and he's going to try to get the ball to Kawhi Leonard. Look where Kawhi is right here with 17 seconds left. The off-ball aggressiveness by Draymond Green makes Kawhi catch the ball at the Intuit Dome with 12 seconds left. He was just right here. The catch point was pushed all the way out. Now, we have, there was a lot of screens in this game for Kawhi Leonard. There's a lot of times Kawhi was a screener. All of that is just to try to get a different matchup for Kawhi. So to get Draymond off him. So there were times where there was a lot of inverted pick and roll where a smaller guy would set a screen for Kawhi to get like Steph Curry on him or something like that. And the other Warriors defenders did a great job of hedging. They did a great job of blitzing Kawhi Leonard so he couldn't turn the corner. But this is all because they don't care about Chris Dunn, right? So Curry can come off right there and hedge, right? And he's able to get back to Chris Dunn late because they don't think he's going to shoot the ball that quick. So they get the steal right there. Great job by Draymond and the Warriors on the defense side of the ball. All right, so here after the turnover, you see Draymond being aggressive with Kawhi, but the Clippers try to get Kawhi going on his Iverson cut. An Iverson cut is when somebody cuts from one wing to the other wing with two screens across the free throw line. So whenever you see something that looks like this, it doesn't have to be perfectly across the free throw line as you see, but just a guy on the wing right here with one screen right here by Chris Dunn, one screen right here, and the goal is for that guy to cut to the opposite wing. But again, you're going to see how the Warriors not guarding Chris Dunn makes this. So usually this guy will be able to come off this way and get to the other wing, but Draymond Green top locks him so he can't use this way, right? But again, there's nobody on Chris Dunn. So when Draymond points and says Kawhi's going that way, I need y'all to be ready. Look where Kristaps is. Like, he's not guarding anybody, but when Kawhi goes through, Gui Santos and Kristaps Porzingis are there to slow him down. And again, nobody's on Chris Dunn, right? So Draymond Green has the ability to go back out and get back to Kawhi Leonard because his teammates were able to stop him in his tracks, and Chris Dunn is forced to take a corner three. All right, here we got Draymond on Kawhi again, and I talked about that 77 actually two screens, but this turns into double get. The Celtics run this play a lot. Double get is just two screens, of course, is the double part, and the get action is when somebody passes the ball to somebody to immediately get the ball back. So at the two screens right here, Kawhi's going to pass it to Chris Dunn to immediately get it back. But the purpose of this is they're getting Steph Curry and Brandon Podziemski both in this action so they can have two chances at getting them switched on Kawhi Leonard and getting Draymond Green off. And Draymond goes under because he's at the logo. You're going to see that hedge right there, or that quick show right there by Brandon Podziemski, and Draymond's going to contest that well. And this is why you have to allocate so much defensive attention to Kawhi Leonard, because even when you play great defense like this, the robot can still knock it down. But Draymond Green comes right back, gets a nice contest on the Kawhi three. He held him to 2 for 7 shooting when matched up against him. And I do want to continue to express just how impactful the other Warriors were to this operation. Of course, Draymond Green is ahead of Snake, but Al Horford and his blitzes were really impactful in this game. His hedges, his hard hedges were really impactful in this game. Kristaps Porzingis being able to play off of Chris Dunn, Stephen Curry's hedges, all that stuff plays a part, and that forces Kawhi right after this screen and roll right here. Kawhi goes all the way back to the logo before he gets a pass off, and it's an errant pass, and he doesn't touch the ball for the rest of the possession. All right, so here we have Kawhi Leonard starting in the paint with 19 seconds left. Draymond Green is going to switch on to him, and he's going to make the catch tougher. But again, I talked about the catch points. He was just in the paint. He's starting his offense at the logo now, right? So again, we got some more of that inverted finger roll trying to get Draymond off of Kawhi Leonard. He navigates that screen good, makes Kawhi reset right there. But again, when somebody's on Chris Dunn, they don't pay him any mind. De'Anthony Milton is on him, but then as soon as Kawhi drives to him, he just leaves him, right? And that's that little help right there, and that forces everything. All right, so we got Kawhi coming off the screen, and a good screen by Brook Lopez. But again, the other Warriors, Al Horford, making sure Kawhi can't turn the corner. Now, this is important because, again, we got Chris Dunn in the corner, right? So, technically, Brook Lopez is open on this roll here, but Gui Santos can be right here all the way off the corner and bait this pass because they have Chris Dunn in the corner, and they will like him to shoot this three. But again, the other Warriors, Al Horford doing a phenomenal job stopping the tracks of Kawhi Leonard, making them pass the ball out. And then Draymond Green does a great job of not letting Kawhi Leonard touch the ball for the rest of his possession. And Chris Dunn had to take a tough shot. I've said this for a long time. One of the most underrated things you can do as a defender. This does not show up on the stat sheet. This does not show up in any statistic, man. The most underrated thing to me you can do as a defender is when you can force a star player to not touch the ball or to not shoot. Here it looks like the Clippers were trying to go to some wide action, so Brook Lopez was going to try to set this wide screen for Kawhi Leonard to get to the center of the floor. But again, Draymond Green is going to top lock that right there, so he can't use the screen, force him to go under. And Gui Santos is right there, right? So we got two people on Kawhi, making sure he's not going anywhere without some physicality. Turns him into the first screener in that double get action that we talked about earlier. But this is why this worked. Again, Chris Dunn. Darius Garland's coming off with his handoff. Again, Brook Lopez slips open or gets open in this short roll, but Kristaps Porzingis is able to come off the corner and just walk right into the paint, into that roll lane of Brook Lopez, and just leave Chris Dunn, right? And that play was for Kawhi Leonard. Draymond Green's off-ball aggressiveness, Gui Santos being there, forced him not to touch the ball, and he had to take a tough shot. And another thing I loved about Draymond Green in this matchup was it was super clear that the coaching staff, Steve Kerr, was like, hey, Draymond, this is your matchup. We need you to contain Kawhi Leonard. We need you to be the head of the snake of the Operation Stop Claw, right? But Draymond didn't let the matchup consume him, right? I've seen so many times where guys have a matchup and that's the only thing that matters. So when that guy doesn't have the ball, they're not attentive off the ball, they're not helping, they're not doing anything else. The only thing that matters is if their guy scores, and that can hurt the team because you're also not helping. But what Draymond Green did, he was still a great team defender while being so hell-bent on like stopping Kawhi Leonard, right? So he's not just gonna not help Gary Payton on the screen. He's not just gonna switch because he doesn't want anybody else on Kawhi Leonard. He's gonna play great defense and get a great contest on Darius Garland. All right, so again, good job by the other Warriors here helping Draymond Green. We have Benedict Mathurin setting the screen on Draymond Green. Brandon Bzimski, he's just gonna hard heads right here and then get back. He's not trying to switch. He gets back to his man, right? After that, Darius Garland's gonna set a good rip screen on Draymond Green. He gets just enough to where Kawhi Leonard can get a slight opening right here. But again, look at the help right there from Porzingis. Just gives Kawhi a slight little hug right there, make sure he doesn't cut open. Benedict Mathurin does hit that shot, but good defense on Kawhi. All right, so here we got some more good ball denial by the Warriors and Draymond Green. Here the Clippers try to get the ball in. They're making it tough for him, and Kawhi tries to come get this handoff, and Draymond Green does a great job of denying the ball. Kawhi Leonard's at the logo, and again, one of the most underrated things you can do on defense is force a star not to touch the ball. Now, they do score on this play, but they're setting the precedent that, hey, in the fourth quarter, man, like he hasn't been touching the ball. It's been hard for him to touch the ball all game. In the fourth quarter, they have to give it to Kawhi Leonard. Like, that's the guy they will have to give the ball to, and that's exactly what ended up happening in this game. All right, so Draymond Green gets hit with that early screen. They fake the handoff right there, and again, on these pick and rolls in the second half, man, it was crazy. They blitzed Kawhi like hell right here. All right, so here we got Steph Curry and Draymond Green working together. This is usually on the offensive side when you see this, but they do a great job of working together using that chemistry on the defense side. So again, got inverted pick roll here. Chris Dunn does his job in this possession twice, actually. So he sets the first screen, gets Draymond Green off of Kawhi Leonard. But again, that hedge by Steph Curry, he's going to nab at the ball hand right there of Kawhi Leonard to force him to go right back to Draymond Green. So he does that. He gets back on Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn comes back. That's another good screen to get Draymond off him. But now this time, they just have to switch to Stephen Curry again, nabbing at the ball right there, forces Kawhi to pick his dribble up, and Draymond gets steal. And again, especially in the second half, man, it was super tough for Kawhi Leonard when you have teammates that the defense doesn't care about. They're able to send two at you. They're able to trap, blitz you, double you, do all that stuff. All right, so as you see, we've jumped a considerable amount in this game. Draymond Green came back into the game with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. In the half court, Kawhi Leonard did not touch the ball inside of the three-point line for 5 straight minutes. So this is the first possession where he's actually getting the ball or touching the ball inside the 3-point line. And this is where the individual defense from Draymond Green comes to the peak, man. This old man being able to still do this defensively against stars in this league is just incredible. He's isolated against one of the most efficient offensive players of all time, and he stops him right in his tracks. Again, in the second half, if you're going to be setting a screen for Kawhi Leonard, you better be ready to be a safety valve for him, because they are coming at him with everything they have. These traps, these blitzes, these hard hedges, everything showing him too. And Kawhi Leonard was not handling those great tonight. And what that does, when you push the catch points out, you're so aggressive off the ball. You're making Kawhi not touch the ball on some possessions. What does that do? The coaching staff sees that, hey, it's been tough for us to get Kawhi the ball. They stuck him in the corner. 1-point game with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. So here, our sentence player, we're going to have a pre-switch on the pick and roll between Steph Curry and Al Horford. Steph is going to tell Al Horford to go check Chris Dunn, because when they play aggressive pick and roll coverage, again, Brook Lopez is going to be open. But Al Horford, if he's guarding Chris Dunn, he's able to leave Chris Dunn. And so he can be in that roll area right there for Brook Lopez. So no advantage created there for the Clippers. But again, maybe because it was so hard to get Kawhi Leonard the ball in his sweet spots all game, maybe Ty Lue and the coaching staff was like, man, maybe it'll be good for us to play 4-on-4, but this is your best player, man. He has to touch the ball. All right, absolute crunch time here. Tie game, 1:30 left. And it was so tough for Kawhi Leonard in this game, because it was either go one-on-one versus Draymond Green or try to set a pick and roll. But every pick and roll that you're the handler of, there's so much aggressive coverage, and Draymond Green gets back and Kawhi Leonard isn't able to penetrate. He has to pass the ball out. And since the very first clip of this video, I've been talking about Draymond Green's off-ball aggressiveness versus Kawhi Leonard, pushing the catch points out and just making it hard for him to catch the ball. Look at this denial by Draymond Green. And what he does, he's going to tip the ball right in play to his teammates so they can get the ball. And just a perfect cherry on top defensively for Draymond Green in this game to encapsulate everything that he's done, picking the pocket and installing firewall on the AimBot. But that is a video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share to any and everyone that you can. Just so you know out there a little bit more. Now, we'll see you guys in the next video. This is Nick. Peace.